welcome everyone. This is the Should I Start podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about business entrepreneurs, printmakers, business gurus, creatives in photography and videography, and we try to get to know their story and how they got to where they are. Each guest is different, and the way that they're different is I find them successful in something that I lack, and I think that raising awareness around those people around me is the best choice to go about it. So today's guest on the show, I have a good friend of mine, Danny the Champ Calafell. He's a business guru. We met through a mutual friend. He's given me free advice and consultation, which is very valuable. Can't believe that it's like basically priceless. And I try to take everything that I can. Some creatives, they lack a business structure, and the lack of business structure can like cripple a creative's business. So we're gonna learn more about my man Danny the Champ and see what advice that he can give for me and for you too. All right, cool. So Danny, for those of the people that don't know who you are, how would you introduce yourself?
First off, thanks for having me.
No problem. I'm glad that you're on here. It's been a while.
Yeah,
man. Things are spontaneous, but we try to bring home all the energy and all the wisdom that we can. And I know that you're a busy man, so
yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, Danny, like I said, for those that don't know who you are, how would you introduce yourself to them?
Entrepreneur, visionary, very experienced sales, guru. I know sales. I know as much as you know about cameras and photography and all of that. That's how much I know about sales and business. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Somebody picks a field that they not even a field. Just they know a lot about sports, or they know about a lot about a hobby of theirs. That's how much I know about sales and business.
Okay, but you don't just do sales and business. So before you got to where you are now, who were you in the beginning?
How far back are we going here?
As far back as we can go. Who was young Danny?
Well, for 18 years, I was a professional boxer. And as I was fighting, I was always trying to find ways that I can have myself set up for after my career was done. I mean, we all make mistakes. Sometimes we learn from others' mistakes, and sometimes we have to learn from our own. But I can say this portion, I studied what other people were having issues with when they ended up finishing up their careers, and I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to be like that. So throughout my career, I was constantly getting to know people, networking, building relationships, establishing relationships, going out, meeting different people, and just getting my name out there with as many people that were doing as big of a thing that I could possibly approach them on, okay, just to learn from them, and then eventually start business and getting more into business, more involved and so forth. Started with a record company back in 2010, okay, and then it manifested into what I'm doing now in the corporate world.
There's different types of creativity.
Okay.
And you being athletic and seeing the ending careers of some of the people, let's say, that you loved or cared for.
Right.
It's just like, I am seeing ahead of time being a visionary. I'm seeing ahead of that, and I want to diversify and plant seeds and as much as I can grow.
And that was the limitation I had when I started the record company. So when I started the record company, I knew that I was only in one industry, and I was only capable of being able to stay in that industry. I couldn't get out. I was confined. I don't like being confined. I don't like being necessarily told what to do, you would say. Like I don't like the feeling that I can't go anywhere, that I'm claustrophobic type scenario, you know what I mean? So when the record company was there, I started the company I have now, Tri World. Okay, and I didn't know what, more or less, what direction I was going to go in with it, but I knew that I didn't want to have it just to be confined to one industry, one thing. I wanted it to be wide open. You follow what I'm saying?
To a multitude of things.
Right. I mean, same thing with the record company. Record company, I didn't want to just stick to one genre. I wasn't doing, like, for example, hip hop. Like, it was open to all genres of music. You know, we did a competition back in 2011, okay, and that was open to all genres of music. Bands, you name it, they played an instrument. I wanted them on the show and in the competition. You know, so I've always been that way. I don't want to have a confinement, you know. I mean, you limit yourself that way.
Where are you from?
From Miami.
From Miami, born and raised?
Yeah, I have family in New York, but from Miami.
Did any of your family members were into business, entrepreneurs?
My father, my grandfather, and on both sides, actually. My grandfather on both sides. And
Okay.
my father.
What did those two?
Grandfather was a pharmacist. He had medical centers, and my other grandfather was, I didn't meet him, but he was in business and on the, if I'm not mistaken, the finance side of things. Yeah, he came from Cuba, and in 5 years he was a millionaire with $5 in his pocket.
Man. So it's in your genes.
He came to America with $5 in his pocket. In 5 years, he had his first million.
Would you say that influence has greatly impacted the way that you view how you do your
Anybody
business?
successful impacts me immensely, and I am drawn and I learn from people that don't limit themselves and that are going to reach their full potential.
Okay.
So I feel a lot of people, even businesses, they don't recognize what their potential is, or they don't capitalize off of it. They tend to compare themselves to others instead of comparing themselves to what they're capable of. I don't like limitation.
Do you feel
I think
like
that's quitting. I don't like quitters. I've never been one.
so limitation equals quitting?
It is. If you have the capability to go far and you're stopping yourself from going far, what are you doing? You're quitting. In your mind, you're quitting. You're stopping. Stopping is quitting. Definition of quit is to stop.
No, okay. So going on your expertise, when you come across people that you feel have a lot of potential, but a limited mindset, what are some things that you would say, or how would you what advice would you give them? Let's say for me.
To recognize what they're good at and be the best at what they can be, and realize what their potential is. Some people don't know what their potential is. Some people don't know because they don't go for it. I mean, you never know until you try. You know, you don't know how far you can go until you try. I mean, you look at the giant companies that we see out there. I mean, I'm talking about, GM, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the ones that have been around for years. And they all started somewhere. But they knew that they wanted to work hard. They wanted to expand and expand and expand and grow and grow and grow. And with that, they unlocked their potential. But you have other companies that they don't come close to that because they don't even try. They look at that and are like, I'll never get there. Or in the beginning, it's, I want to be that. And then it's, I'm never going to get there. It's quitting. So to answer your question, the advice that I would give is don't quit. If you're going to start something, why start it? Spend all that time starting it, and then all of a sudden, stop.
Do you think having the title entrepreneur is just a hot title? Is it, what I mean by that is just like something that makes you look more than what you are?
I think it's a trend.
The trend.
If you want me to be honest, I think it's a trend. I think with social media and everything, it's allowed people opportunity to be able to see other people doing it, so it's made them want to do it. You know, I mean, the more you see something, it's just like marketing. The more you see something, the more you want to do it, or the more you want to be like it. You know, you have your young kids, they grow up watching TV, they grow up watching other people, and they mimic what they do. Okay, same thing today. You have people, they get tired of working a 9 to 5, so they're like, okay, I'm going to go out and be my own boss. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're able to do that, because there's a lot of responsibility that comes behind that. People don't understand. You could be an entrepreneur, but you can be still like you're working a 9 to 5. Matter of fact, you're probably better off getting a 9 to 5 or working. First off, again, the potential, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like limiting.
Yeah.
But
in the beginning, if I wanted to take my business to the next level, it's okay to have a 9 to 5.
Of course it is.
There's a misconception saying that because you have a 9 to 5, you can't grow and become this beast or this business and then reap the rewards.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's do this. Okay, if you have a steady cash flow of income coming in, and all of a sudden you decide to quit your job because you saved a bunch of money, and you jump in to something that you have absolutely no experience doing, okay, it's a new idea, or even if you do have a little bit of experience doing it, you're taking that leap to dive straight into your business, okay, you're going backwards
To try to go forwards.
You have to understand that in the beginning, you're not going to make the kind of money that you were regularly making, because that company that you were coming from already has the structure there. You're working, you're making money. So it's like, why are you going to leave something you're making money with just to dive into it, instead of continuing to build a certain amount of money to throw into the business and invest into the business to make the business bigger? And that's the misconception. People are like, oh, I'm tired of this. So they make excuses to quit the job.
They give themselves weak reasons.
Right. So it's like, I don't want to work. I don't like having to be work on Saturdays, or I don't like having to come in and stay late 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, or whatever the scenario is, or whatever the reason is. It's like, okay, now I'm going to quit because I already have a company that I'm going to go ahead and just dive straight into. But that's the wrong reason to do that. If you're getting money and you can manage both, okay, here's the thing. If you can manage both, why not? You don't need to dive straight in. It's when you can't manage both, then yes, I agree. You have to dive into your business and you have to go full-fledged. But if you can manage both, why stop? You're just creating another flow of income, another revenue stream. That's the smart way to do it.
Now, what happens if you're in a 9 to 5 and it's conflicting with the gigs or the opportunities that you are able to get?
If you cannot,
because remember, it's not 9 to 5 as in the morning to the evening. Sometimes it can be midday to the evening, or sometimes it can be like that night shift or something like that.
If you cannot,
I'm not saying cannot, but like what suggestions or alternatives in the mindset that you would give someone?
Try to work with where it is that you're at work-wise, and see if you can work out a certain schedule, either a consistent schedule or a schedule that you feel would be able to work around your business schedule. And then at that point, you let your customers know, look, this is what I can do and this is when I can do it. And if you start seeing that it doesn't work, then it might be time that you might have to leave your 9 to 5 to jump. Like I said, if it's conflicting and you see that you're able to eventually make, again, you have to look at the potential of the business. If the business has the potential to make way more than what it is that you're doing, forget the idea of I want to be my own boss. I'm talking about what makes sense. Okay, why are you going to leave a $60,000 a year job? Okay, let's go start your own business only making $30,000 a year, and the capability of the business is only to do 40. You're losing $20,000. Why? For what? Just don't start the business.
Yeah. Or stay at the 9 to 5 until you build up the clientele to make that transition.
Well, exactly.
The ultimate, yeah.
Exactly.
That's like that's the honey. That's that sweet idea. It's like, oh, that's like the best possible situation. But usually when you're diving into something and it's like, I don't have the consistent clientele, or the clientele that I do have are not paying high enough, or they're unreliable, they're like one-off clients.
Well, then you have the problem. Then you have the problem of the people who dive into the business. They only have enough money to start the business, but they don't have enough money to fund the business and to continue it going. Okay, because when you start the business, the number one thing is, okay, I have a great, wonderful idea. I have a great, wonderful product or service. Okay, great, wonderful. How do I get my name out there? How do people know about me? How do people know where to find me? Who, I'm here. I know people need me. Where are they? Now you need to dump money and invest. But the problem is, if you left the job that you were at and you went ahead and you dove right into your business and you spent all the money prepping your business, whether it's getting an office, whether it's getting a brick and mortar, buying gear and everything, now you're dead broke. How are you going to go out and get new people? And you have no sales skills. What do you do? What do you do? But just sit there and just realize, all right, I'm going to do the best I can.
So I hope you guys love this video and the videos that I have been producing.
Let's go.
I love the people, I love the guests. If there's any feedback that you would like to give me, please let me know in the comments below.
Yes.
If you can please subscribe. If there's any way that I can improve on it, let me know. I'll be glad to hear it. And I also want to know what's on your mind. This is an ongoing conversation.
Let's go.
I want to, understand you guys more. I want to provide more value, more content for you.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that I can do, just please let me know. I'll gladly help out to the best of my abilities to provide you this content.
You're crushing it, bro. Let's go.